Greetings and God bless. So, I was listening to a book talking about ancient history, and I wonder now if Neanderthals didn't become extinct. Because how can that happen? How can a complete species be eradicated? Because the theory is that Homo sapiens killed them all because Homo sapiens were smarter or more powerful or whatever. When I am beginning to wonder, so like the latest thing now is this genetics testing, right? And so everybody's been like giving their genetics away to 23andMe, and it probably goes to the Vatican or deep state or something like that. And they have technology that can be injected that can eliminate different ethnicities. That's what Putin said about the bioweapons labs in Ukraine. So these were near the border of Russia, and he said that these bioweapons labs were developing bioweapons to kill the Slavic race. And so we know that there are injections that can alter somebody's sexual preference, somebody's sexual orientation, genetic, um, gender identification. I would gather. So so I am wondering if all the people, because who got into genetics, who got into this whole race thing? It was the Nazis. They were into some type of racial purity or something like that. And I am wondering if these people, so these, racist people who are geneticists, if they are maybe the Homo sapiens and the Neanderthals, like are the Neanderthals the people who are just like live and let live, um, just want to have their traditional life. I'm just wondering that if if this whole like 23andMe, everybody get your genetics tested and get it skewed, let's do some genetic therapy on you for your cancer, you know. Um like I'm wondering if there's side, not necessarily of ethnicities, but of species or something like that that still may exist that has been hidden. Because what we have learned the past several years is that history is a lie, science is a lie, politics is a lie, psychiatry is a lie. I mean, there's just everything has been a lie. Pesticides are just poison, and the government's trying to kill us all. I mean, we're just learning all sorts of terrible things that have been done, that Jesus was a good guy, like instead of this demonized anti Christian thing that we've been programmed. Um, like the reality is, we've learned Jesus is good if you just bother to study and have any self reflection about it, and have a relationship with God. So yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if this latest genocide that's been going on, is it the Homo sapien Nazis, let's say, against the Neanderthals? Like, because there's this, you know, like Satan had angel technology, scientific stuff. So did Satan manipulate, what we call humanity, and create this more evil human, or this, and was the Neanderthal like the original, the true descendants of Noah or Abraham? I don't know. I mean, so um, I, I I think if we look at Israel, did that population, so it's like why did they do this to their own people? So, anyways, yeah. So my question is, are there Neanderthals still around? And I would speculate maybe those are the more traditional people out in the, you know, still living in the Amazon, or um, like these really rural people out World War I and World War II, a way to, create chaos in on different continents. And when there's wars, it displaces the civilians, because I've known people who during World War II they had to leave their original home, and they had to go to safety, hundreds of miles away. I don't know if it was on foot or whatever, but they were exposed to disease and famine and what, um, at home, and when they were refugees, I guess the word is. So that's a way to disrupt civilians who aren't in cities and whatnot, not controlled as easily by government. Um, yeah, I'm wondering if this globalist thing is another attack on not just ethnicities, but different types of humans. And like I've never been able to really get a clear understanding of this Rh negative blood and stuff, but it seems to me all this genetics testing is some type of way of targeting people that are undesirable. And I was just thinking, oh, get rid, they want to get rid of, I don't know, typo negative people or AB, I don't know. But could it be that it's a whole other species that's being eradicated? Because, like, who? So they're getting rid of the useful. The people who are so authoritarian, they're like lemmings. They're willing to die for the authoritarian, just at a whim. They'll go into the system and be consumed, and they let their children and their adult parents and their grandchildren be consumed by the system, whatever it is. Whatever type of consumption, whether it's a Freemasonic human sacrifice, or just being killed in the hospital for your organs. So there's those people in different degrees of it. And then there's people who totally want to opt out of the system. And it really seems like everything is bent upon stopping from their own land, living off the grid. It seems like the whole system wants everybody to be imprisoned on the grid, affected by the water supply, poisoned by the bioweaponized ticks and mosquitoes and whatever, poisoned by the skies, poisoned by the food, poisoned by the media, poisoned by the crazed people around them. It seems like there's people who want to be left alone, but the 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 um the evildoers won't let that happen. The evildoers are like, no, you can't get away from us. We want to sacrifice you. We want to sacrifice your children. We want you to get in. Like we want you to buy into our little reality. We want you to get seduced by our what we got. Oh, we got this phone, or we got this whatever. Um, so yeah, it really doesn't seem like uh, there's free choice left. And I wonder if a lot of the people who fight back, so there's people who definitely need to be in prison and in jail and whatnot. Uh, and it seems like those who work in that field have a record, and they're just ex criminals who know how to work the system, know how to avoid getting caught. And I would say that's a lot of people who are in government who are working at schools and stuff like that. It seems like there's just a lot of dangerous people in positions of authority, like working in the police force. Um, and and God bless those who are good people who are working in the police, who are in the military, because that must be extra hard because these are satanic Freemasonic brotherhoods. And yeah, and just bad people want authority over general populations. So, but I wonder if some of the people who end up in prison and jail are just people who have the courage to resist something that's wrong, and they may not have enough community support and maybe enough self management to stay out of jail and prison, and then they probably get corrupted by jail and prison. But I am wondering if a lot of the people that we need to stand up and fight against the system have been like engineered to end up in jail so they can't do what's needed. Because it just seems like a lot of people are hypnotized, paralyzed, or yeah, I mean, maybe, they're rationalizing things aren't so bad or whatever. And what we need to understand is that um, there's a point, of no return. And when there's a point of no return, you can't stem the tide. You can't fight the fascism, the globalism, the communism, because um, when all of the, it's sort of like that line, they came for the so and so's, and I said nothing. They came for the such and such, and I said nothing. They came for so and blah blah blah, and finally they came for me, and there was nobody to defend me. That's how it works. So you know they've done this divide and conquer. They've divided and conquer liberals against each other, like the extreme left and the common sense classic liberal who isn't for fascism and communism and socialism, who's just about freedom. And then they've caused separation between feminists and between the LGBT community and so forth, just with all these different issues. So everybody's separated from their once stronger um, like social sphere and family sphere. So we're solo trying to fight like 100,000 different issues. So, but we still have, like, even now, even though I do think we're at the end of Western civilization in America and humanity and Earth, we still fight a good fight. Um, just like in Viktor Frankl's book, and because we have learned everything is a lie, history is a lie. Who knows if that book is real? But he does say that people in the concentration camps, like they're like good people, did like they followed their own value system, and that is something that the Nazis could not take away from some people. It's my understanding a sufficient privation does um, break people. That is the goal of evil, is to break people, to stop people from having integrity. Because when you stop having integrity and self control, and when you're driven such desperation, you do anything, you compromise your values, then we don't have civilization. You know, we become animals in words of God, but doesn't like that. Satan wants to degrade us because Satan's like, how dare humans be here. How dare humans set things up? And in the end, humans are going to judge the angels, or saved humans, people who are born again in Lord Jesus Christ, are going to judge the angels. So, um, anyway, I just wanted to wonder about that, and if anybody knows anything about like modern day Neanderthals, like if all the science and archaeology and everything is a lie, and it seems like everything's just an opinion or some type of like marketing psychological operations. If there are Neanderthals now, who are they? What are they? What do they bring to humanity? And is it that Homo sapiens, like the Nazi Homo sapiens, are trying to get rid of the Neanderthals? Are Neanderthals more spiritual? Do they have less satanic influence in their biology or something like that? Um, so that is something I'm wondering. Does anybody know? Thanks for listening. Bye bye.